So this is episode number 16 of the Therapeutic Art Exercises. It goes along with the podcast, which is Breaking the Legacy of Suffering. So the prompt for this week is to write a letter to your daughters or granddaughters or even your past self about the future that you hope for them. And then embellish it however you want. I just did watercolor and pen, but you can, do whatever symbols or colors or thoughts or feelings come up for you. I'll go ahead and read this to you. It says, "Dear daughters, I want you to know that I did my best to break the legacy of suffering that has been handed down to women through the generations. I am doing the hard work of breaking out of oppressive patriarchal systems, risking and experiencing rejection and heartbreak so that you don't have to, at least in that way. You don't have to fill a role for me or anyone else. Your only work is to become the best version of you. I know the legacy of suffering won't disappear in a generation, and I know that I unwittingly passed some of it on to you. And I hope you can forgive me and know I did my best, and that you can continue the work of creating a legacy of peace." I should say, love grandma or something down here. So this, I just did some hands that it just looks, symbolic of giving. And this is sort of like a sunrise. I put some like little birds in there, but you can't really see them because I wrote the letter over it. And this represents suffering, but I also wanted to represent, like I talked about in the podcast, the strength that our foremothers passed on to us as well. So that's what this part is, and it's part of this beautiful sunrise. One of the things that came up for me is just acknowledging, in the podcast, I wanted to just acknowledge that not only did our foremothers pass down suffering, they also passed down strength. And just to acknowledge that in myself as well, that even though I'm doing my best to break out of some of these things for my daughters and granddaughters, I am sure that I also have passed down some unhealthy cycles. And we do our best not to do that. We do our best to be aware of those things, but we're all human beings, and that's how it is. We aren't supposed to have perfect parents, and we know that because we don't have perfect parents. A perfect parent is imaginary, so we're all just human parents, and we are doing our best. So the reflection questions are, what strengths did I inherit from my foremothers? I wrote hard work, strength of will, creating a safe and loving environment, and battling mental health struggles. And I was thinking a lot about this one because it's not as taboo anymore to talk about your mental health struggles or go get help or recognize them in the family system as it used to be. And so many women suffered with those things in silence and without support, without medication, without doctors, without even saying the words out loud, and they just continued to stay alive and raise a family and do what they had to do, even though there's a lot of suffering involved. And so I just want to acknowledge that, and I'm thankful for that. And also it breaks my heart that that's the way that it had to be, but they did it anyway. So, and then number 2 is, where in my life can I begin to reject suffering and create peace? And I wrote, I want to create more wealth, like my own wealth and money and investments, and teach my children how to do that as well. I want to be an example of pursuing my dreams and being a whole person and not just a servant. And then protecting my selfhood even when my kids resist it. So this is an interesting thing I've been thinking about lately, is that while I am trying to, how do I put this? show my kids that I'm a whole person, that I'm not just a mom and my whole existence isn't just for them. I think eventually they will appreciate that, but sometimes now when I say no to them, when I shut my office door and tell them not to bother me, when I tell them, you know, they need to make their own snack or whatever, they don't like it. They want me to be like available for them all the time, and that's okay. They don't understand, and it's okay if they don't like it sometimes. And I hope that they will look back and be able to appreciate the example that I was trying to be for them, of being a whole person, like modeling that for them, so that someday they are able to say no to some things and set some boundaries around their selfhood and protect that in themselves. So yeah, that's what came up for me. So here it is again. Show me yours. I love to see your artwork, and hear about your thoughts and what came up for you. And yeah, that's all. Love you guys.